So this first set's going to be the welcome to legs. The welcome to legs and welcome to the video.
Good. Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Good. Let's go. Right, good.
That heat is something. It's that active range of motion leg press. Meaning, drop the load, go to 4A. Like, I keep looking at all them, man.
Put it down on a plate.
Keep looking at all them Mars and like Snickers proteins. But I know they're just gonna taste like straight bumhole. Yeah, like, my favourite chocolate is Bounty. And I know that I'm gonna. Yeah, but I know I'm gonna buy it and then it's just gonna taste like absolute shit.
I mean, shorts will be good. The thing is, until I start hammering legs, I don't need to do chicken legs out.
Man, I feel like I'm in the depths of Mordor.
Dropped into a volcano.
Jesus. Huh? I haven't. But now you pulled me out.
So that's lower than the wall.
Was it?
Every time I have a dream, it's blood. All of them who said money, take the beat, left the money, left the bar. Back cheating and done in the trousers. Was it eating for 24 hours? But I dropped that beautiful girl, but she played both sides.
Bit of a sticky one still. Aye. It's been approximately 2 hours since that workout, and to be honest, that absolutely battered me. And this brings me on to mainly the subject of this vlog. Now, I wanted this vlog to be very raw, but I also wanted to give just a quick update on prep, because I realised that I am quite kind of quick to educate, but not necessarily tell my story. So again, I'm going to do a lot more raw vlogs, but I'm also going to keep the educational stuff in. But I'm also going to tell my story alongside that. I hope you don't mind. But that gym today was like, I think it was like 34 degrees in that gym, so it was incredibly hot. So yeah, that laced with being 7 weeks out is less than optimal. But yeah, as of last Sunday, we are 7 weeks out, which isn't really a long time at all. Now, the update on prep is going to be quite short and sweet, mainly from the simple fact that there isn't really much to update you on in terms of nutrition, because that's basically stayed the same. We are having 3 weekly refeeds per week, which is going to be the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. That's been in pretty much the whole way through the process, to be honest. I've kind of kept quiet on the refeed front, because every time I say that I'm having refeeds in prep, I always get kind of social media comments saying, you shouldn't have refeeds, blah, blah, blah. You need to kind of grind harder. And essentially I've got to the point where I don't really speak about refeeding, because I can't be asked for the kind of backlash. But I think it's quite important to tell my story, because essentially that's what I'm doing. It's almost come to the point where I'm almost like lying about what I'm doing. But essentially, yeah, we're losing at quite a good rate of loss. So on average, we're losing about ½ pound per week with them 3 refeeds. I'm going to move you, by the way, because the sun is literally directly in my eye. That is better. Anyway, so the past week's kind of been a little bit sticky in terms of scale weight. So we were losing at 0.5 of a pound per week, which is quite a good rate of loss. Now, the last week or so, the scale weight has really not budged. So this is coming to my point, or to my, it's becoming a little bit of a stressor, right? When you consistently see the scale weight not even move, but you are seeing your kind of, I'm seeing like abs, I'm seeing like daily, like kind of every time I wake up I feel leaner. So essentially I'm in that kind of head fuckery that happens in a fat loss phase, where you're seeing this come in, but you're not seeing the scale weight go down. Ideally, we want both. I suspect the next update that we're going to have is probably going to be the scale weight has budged. But again, we'll see. So in terms of nutrition, nothing's changed so far. But if the rate of loss continues like it is for this current week and the week before, we're probably going to have to adjust. I mean, right now, we're hitting only 7,000 steps per day, which is literally nothing. Like, nutrition's like 2,700 calories. When I'm refeeding, we're having like nearly 3,500 calories. That's, again, 3 times per week. And we have no cardio in. So it's like we're losing at a very good rate of loss. And I keep contradicting myself because we're losing at a good rate of loss, but then I keep contradicting myself in the fact that this week I'm just focusing on the scale weight and nothing else. And it's kind of a bit, again, it's a bit of a stressor. But we have to look at these things in an objective standpoint. We can't always have the scale weight go down. But again, we have so many tools to play with. If it doesn't go down, we just add in cardio, or we add in more steps, or we decrease food, because my food focus hasn't been that bad, because again, I'm still on quite a lot of food. So again, scale weight is sitting at around 73.7. My lowest weigh-in was like 73.5, so we're only like 0.2 off that. We're just kind of hovering on that. I basically have stayed at 73.7. It kind of dips down, then dips back up, and then dips down. So that's what we're playing with right now. Anyway, enough about scale weight, because that's boring. In terms of general look, looking pretty sharp, looking pretty good. I mean, considering we're 7 weeks out, we still have a lot of time, which is another thing that we have on our side. The only thing that we don't want to do, which kind of, again, contradicts the whole scale weight thing, is we just don't want to come in too quick, because if we're coming too quick, we're kind of almost playing with fire. If you're coming into stage, or you're going in very, very lean, you almost want to touch the fire, be set on fire, and then get the fuck out. Like, douse yourself. If we're in really, really early, like 7 weeks out, you got to think, how long are we going to be kind of set on fire for? And you're pretty much going to be burnt out by the time you go on stage, right? By the time you're doused. So again, we're in the stage of really trying to lose weight whilst trying to hover above that kind of fire zone. We're kind of in a weird predicament, but I'm sure we'll do it. But in terms of like training performance and things like that, training performance is really, really good. Again, that session right there where we had legs in the heat was really tough. Like, I always feel like really, really nauseated after that session. And again, my plan was to have the road mic on and basically just talk to the camera. But to be honest, that whole way through, I was like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. So yeah, it was a bit of a doozy, some would say. And the amount of DOMs that I'm generating from that session, we only hit legs once per week, and the amount of DOMs I'm getting in that session is really weird. I've never experienced DOMs in my life like that. From sessions, like I'm only hitting it once per week, but my DOMs last like almost 7 days. Like, so we're gonna have to do something there. I don't know whether it's like really novel stimulus or whether it's to do with the heat, or I can't really work it out. I might need to just move volume down and then just see what happens there. But again, that's another thing that kind of, when I have DOMs, I'm seeing the scale weight pop up, because that's what happens. If you have DOMs, you're having a stressor, which means scale weight goes up. You hold cortisol, you hold water, etc. So that's another thing. I think if we reduce volume slightly, don't have as much DOMs, I think we'll probably see scale weight drop down at the back end of that week. But in terms of sleep, that's all good. That's all handled. We still get our 8 hours. There was a funny night where here it was just a little bit hot, but apart from that, everything else was handled. We just had like a cool pack for that night, so that was all handled. In terms of like life stress, not really any life stress. Any life stress that I tend to have, I tend to kind of ignore right now. So we did have like a couple of stag do's that I had to plan that are coming up in the next week, but to be honest, it just kind of got out of my comfort zone, and it kind of got out of it just got a little bit stressful. So anything like that, I'll just pass on to someone else. I think that's very important because essentially I don't want to ruin people's days, but essentially I have to really manage my stress accordingly. So basically it's kind of being an adult about it and just assessing, look, I don't want to ruin anyone's day. I don't really drink, so it's just like passing it to someone else who can plan someone else's day and make sure it's like really good for them, but also takes pressure away from me is like, that's just a no-brainer. You can do stuff like that in prep. It's just very easy. But coincidentally, there was 2 stag do's, which I'm best man for 2 of them, and it was like 2 stag do's in 2 weekends. So it's just like, you can understand it's a little bit stressful, especially when you're dealing with people. Because if you're like me and you deal with a lot of people all the time, you know there's different personalities that might not get on. But yeah, you know the deal. In terms of the posing, this is something that I'm getting a little bit kind of anxious about as well. So that kind of covers into life stress. To be honest, I really hate the UK DFBAs, so the federation that I'm competing in. I hate their new posing kind of routines and stuff, just purely from the fact that it's just a little bit, and I'm sorry for any females watching this, just a little bit feminine. Not that that's bad, but it's kind of a little bit like bikini. So in my eyes, it just doesn't showcase my physique in the best possible way. But I also have to recognize that I can't do anything about it. And also, people are going to be in the same boat where they might not like it. So as a first-time competitor, I'm not really expecting to win the show. I'm just not. That's just not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for me. I want to get really lean. I want to show you guys that I want to get, like, you can get very lean whilst kind of living life, whilst eating fajitas and all that good stuff, and eating takeaways every single week, because that's basically been in the whole prep. But it's just something that is just driving a little bit of stress, because I just, when I do something, I want to do it like not perfectly, but I definitely want to be very good at it. So again, that's just, we had a posing vlog earlier on, go check that out. But basically we just spoke about just practice, and that's what we're doing. So I'm sure, again, we have 7 weeks to perfect it, so we'll do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the start of this vlog. Very different to our normal routine, right? But I will see you in the next one. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. I mean, the chances are if you're watching this and you're this far in, then you've already done all 3. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video.